here when you are using type of tools. So before we start using Gephi, you can download Gephi. So if you browse in Google and you search for, okay, just a second. So let's say if I want to search for how to download Gephi. So are you able to see this window browser, Monali?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So if you browse in Google Gephi download, you will go to this gephi.org page from where you can download Gephi for Windows. Here all versions for Windows, Mac OS, Linux of Gephi available. So depending on whatever your OS is, you can download the Gephi version, and the installation hardly takes any time. It's a very simple process for the installation. Once you install the Gephi, this is the screen that you get when you open the screen. So here, what we are going to do is we are going to take some of the sample databases which are already available in Gephi to understand how it works. So let's take a sample database of, this is a network of characters in one of the novels, Less Miserable. So we'll just take those data. So here you can see the import report. Whenever you include any file or import any data, you get information about the data which you are including or importing. So here you can see that the graph type is undirected. It can be mixed also. That means it is directed and undirected both. Then you generally have to select these options: auto scale, then create missing nodes. So if there are any missing nodes, it will be automatically created, so that you do not have to manually look into the missing nodes. Self loops, you need to specify whether you want to allow self loops on nodes or you do not want to. And this statistic shows over here how many nodes are there and how many edges are there in the network which we are trying to work on. And then you say new workspace and then OK. Once you say OK, this is the screen which you are able to see. So here you can see the graph which is generated for the nodes. Now there are different panels which are available over here when you talk about Gephi. Let me help you with this. Yeah. So if you observe over here, there is something called as workspace, in which you will be able to see the nodes or the different visualizations of the graphs that you are working on. Then there is another tab which is related to data laboratory. Here you can see at actual the data which you have uploaded. So here you can see in the node section, you will be able to see the ID of the nodes that you have given, the label associated with that node. In the edges, you will be able to see the source and the target. It means that edge or node 1 is connected to node 0, and it is an undirected type of an edge. Node 2 is connected to node 0, again undirected, and so on. So 3 is connected to 0, 3 is connected to 2, and so on. So here you will be able to see the graph is an undirected, since we have already selected it as undirected. If there is any weight associated with this, you will be able to see the weight. Here you can see in the last column, the weight which are associated with each of the edges can also be seen. So depending on whatever parameters you are going to import when you are importing this data, all that can be seen over here. So this gives the nodes and edges information. Also, there is a preview section which allows to give you a preview of okay, this is not working from my end, but then you see a preview of whatever visualization you are trying to do. Now to start with, suppose this is the network which you are able to see. Now there are different your tools which are available which you can use. So here if you observe that there is a tool which is called as a size tool, which allows you to increase the size of a node. So if I select it, if I click on this and I go and click on the node which I want to increase the size and just scroll it, I will be able to increase the size of the node. So here a click event and I scroll it, I can increase the size of the node. So sometimes it is required that you need to increase the size of the node manually. You can do that also. Then this is a drag option which is available, which allows you to drag a node. So if I want to drag this node, I will be able to drag this. This helps you when you have to visualize a network in a proper manner. So sometimes, let's say by doing this, I'm able to see to how many other nodes this center node is being connected to, or to how many different paths this center node is being connected to. So this is one option which you have. Along with this, there is a color option also possible. If you want to color these nodes, you can color them as per your requirement. So let's say if I select the color option here and I select whichever color I want. Let's say I select blue and I say OK. So here you will see when I click on the node, that color changes. So here you will see that the color has changed. Now here are the diffusion options possible. So you either have to select none, that means only that node will be colored. If you say neighbors, since I had selected neighbors, all the nodes which were neighbor to this nodes are being colored in blue now. If there is an option of neighbor to neighbor, so if I select neighbor to neighbor, the nodes which are neighbor of this neighbor will also be colored in the same color which you have selected. Then there is option of coloring predecessors, successors, and so on. So this coloring combination can also be applied depending on what you are trying to look for. So let's say if I want to find out which are the neighbors of this node, so rather than identifying one by one, I can just select this option, give a color, I will be able to find out neighbor. If I want to find neighbors of neighbors, I can do that also. Select the option and coloring so that I will be able to retrieve those nodes which are of neighbor to neighbor. Then there is another feature which is available over here, which allows, let's say when I am working on the graph, it may happen that you are lost. You do not know where the graph has gone. So in this case, there is an option of recenter. So you can click on this recenter, which brings the graph back to the center position, and then you can start working. So this often happens when you are working with very large graphs, and when you're working on it, it does happen that the graph just disappears when you are trying with some of the options. So this option is very important and it helps you to get the graph back to the center position. Now, along with this, there is an option which allows you to add text onto the nodes which are there. So here is a text option T, which you can see at the end. When you click on this, it says show labels. So here you will be able to see the labels, and you can also select the color of the text. Okay, what color you want, what font you want. So all that can be selected from here. So if I do not want bold, I want regular, I can select that. I can select the size also, and then I can say OK. And then here is also a possibility where I can select the size of the text, whatever size I want. I just have to drag it and I will be able to see. So here you are able to see that these are some of the characters in that novel which are related to. And here you can see that Valjean is one of the center characters which was related to this novel. So by doing this, you are able to visualize much better fashion rather than just working on textual basis. This helps you to visualize in better fashion. There are other features also available, like let's say if I want to select a bunch of nodes. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to uh, I have to press the control key and then right click, or I use the scrolling button, and then I can increase the size of the cursor. Once I increase the size of the cursor, I can go and select that, and then I can use this drag option also. So I will be able to, I will be able to drag. I can drag the entire set of nodes at the same instance. I do not have to do it one at a time. So if I want to drag all these nodes and check where they are connected, how they are connected, I can do
Excuse
that.
me, ma'am.
Yes.
Your voice is not audible actually.
Okay. So I can do that also. I can drag the nodes by selecting it. I select the mouse here. I'll, I'll explain this again. I have to select the control button and the scrolling button. So once I select control and scroll, I can increase the size of the cursor. I can decrease the size of the cursor. So this way I will be able to move the maybe a cluster of nodes in the graph to have a proper visualization of the graph also. Along with this, there are other features also. Okay, so this is the node type which allows you to give a color to the node. If you want to select a color, you can just select a color from here. Let's say if I select red, it will allow, and when I say apply, it will give this color to the nodes. The same can be done for the edges also. If I want to give a different color to the edges, I click on this and I select the color which I want and I say apply. You can see a different color is being applied to the edges also. So this way you can color the graph as per your requirement. Here is the text option also possible. So if you want the text to be displayed, you can click on this, you can increase the size of the text and so on. So all this graphical changes, GUI changes are possible when you use this tool. As per the requirement, you can make those changes. So if you have any doubts for this part, you can just drop in the chat window, or we can proceed. Are there any doubts, or we proceed, participants? Okay, fine. So let's move on to the next part. Okay, fine. So the next part is I will just change this.
I just want to interrupt in between. I
Yes.
request all the participants to please message in the chat box as to all panelists. The messages are coming to me privately. So please, everyone, when you are sending the messages, select the option to all the panelists or to Dr. Reena Pagare ma'am. That will be fine. Thank you, ma'am. You can continue.
Yeah. So there is one query by Dolly Rana. She wants to know how to name them. So here, here as I said that you have to click on the text over here. There is a T symbol over here. If I select that, okay, at the end of the window of Gephi, I will be, once I click on that, I will be able to see the names, and then I can change the font also as per the requirement. If you want to change the font, you can change font, you can make it bold, whatever is required can be done. Okay. Now I will close this and I will open the same project again because uh, I have some another options to be shown over here. I hope, I don't know why it is not opening. Just give me a second. Okay. So now that I have this graph, I can perform different operations onto this. So the first thing is, if you observe in the right hand side window, there are two tabs available. One is the filter and other is the statistics. And there is one more context window available which gives you the number of nodes, number of edges, and the type of graph that you are working on when you are selecting it. Now in this filters option, there are different values available, out of which one is topology. So if I select this topology, there are different characteristics available which you can work with on the network. So here you have degree range, then you have selection of a giant component, then whether you want nodes which has self loop, nodes which have in degree, and so on. So depending on whatever your requirement is, you can select one of them and you have to drag it over here to the filter part. Now when I drag it to the filter part, I am able to see, if you're able to see, there is a small graph which is being displayed, histogram which is being displayed over here, which is about the ranges of degrees that you are having in this graph. So it is from 1 to 36. So there are nodes which are having degree 1 to nodes which are having degree 36. So I can change this range depending on the requirement that I am having. Generally, when you are analyzing social networks, the nodes which are having very small degree do not help you in making any analysis, nor the nodes which are having very high degree help you in analyzing it if those nodes are very small in number. So generally, you can keep a range of an average degree which is there in the graph to analyze the network. So let's say if I change this and then I say apply. So here I will be able to see in the context part, you can see that the number of nodes has decreased to 50, edges has decreased to 219, which is 64% of the earlier part and 86% of the previous when the filters were not applied. So here you can see the nodes which were having degree as 1, 2 is changed. And if I want to select some another value, I can just keep on changing this. Sometimes it happens that you are not able to select the appropriate value, so you can just double click over here and you can set the value also. So here if I set to 7, I can apply that also, and when I apply filter, I will be able to see the nodes. So here you see the nodes which are having degree as 7 are also existing in the graph. Okay. If I keep on changing, I will be able to see this. The number of nodes go on decreasing and the number of edges will keep on decreasing as I change this. So if I skip this, this is what I get. Okay. So this is one of a very important features which can help you when you are analyzing the graph depending on the degree. Similarly, if I want to select a giant component, you can remove this filter once you are done. If I want to check if there is any giant component, means any one component which is very huge in this, I can apply that, select it and apply filter. When I say filter, I will be able to see a graph which is connected totally. Okay. And here you get the statistics of the nodes and the edges of that giant component. So this way you can apply different filters over here. Now when you are applying this along with this filters, yeah. When I apply this another tab which is available which is related to statistics. So in this statistics you will be able to see there are different network features provided. Average degree, average weighted degree, network diameter, graph density. So there are algorithms at the back end which are being executed when you select one of this option. So let's say if I select modularity and I want to find out how many modules or how many communities are existing in this. Modularity relates to how many communities, different communities or people who are of similar interest are present in the network. That is dependent on some of the community algorithms which are run at the back end when I select this option. This is community detection algorithm. So if I say run, it will apply. It will ask for options over here. You either have to use weights or you do not have to. You can select that and then you say OK. When I select OK, I will get a result over here and you will also get a graph generated to that. Over here, you will observe that there are total 6 communities and the graph of the same has been displayed over here. Now from this, I'm not able to see, identify exactly which communities they are. So if I give some color combination, once I run this modularity part over here, when I come to the partition part in the left hand side, I can change the attribute. I select modularity class. So here I will be able to see how many classes are there. So there are 6 classes, and to these 6 classes, these are the colors which are being applied, and the percentage of each of the class is also mentioned over here. So there is a class which is 28.7%, which is shown by purple color over here. When I say apply, it will apply the colors. So here you will see that this is a class which is more modular, this one. Then there is another class which is this class, okay. Then there is another cluster, you can say, the blue one, which is not, did I change the color? The blue one is not visible over here. Then you have another orange, which is this class, okay, and then you have a green class which is visible over here, okay. The blue color you are not able to see because it is not within this component. It must be somewhere in the network, which is not a part of this major component which we are trying to analyze, okay. So here you can see that these are the different nodes. So if I scroll, I can either zoom in or I can zoom out, and to drag I can use the right click button to drag the graph into the window which is available, okay. So this is one of the very important features which I can apply for finding the modularity. Now in this graph, since this network is very small, I was able to get only 6 communities. But sometimes it may happen that you get a very big count of communities, which is around 300 or maybe 40 communities in the network. So here you can change that resolution factor. When I change the resolution factor, I will be able to get lesser number of communities. So let's say if I apply 5 over here, let's see what happens. So if I apply 5, I will get only 2 communities now. So here you will see that there are only 2 communities which are being shown. The modularity class, and I say apply. So here you will see that there are only 2 communities. One is the one which is shown by the blue color, and the other which is shown by the purple color. So depending on how you want to analyze the network, or what features you want to analyze in the network, you can apply these factors and you can change those values as per the requirement. There's another option which is available over here. There's another option which is available over here, which is related to network diameter. Okay, so when I say network diameter and I select run, it will show me that the graph is undirected. You can normalize the values or you need not normalize the values. For now, we are leaving it as it is. And this parameter, which is related to network diameter, allows you to find the values for betweenness centrality, closeness centrality, and eccentricity. So betweenness centrality, as we already saw the other day, it measures how often a node appears on the shortest path between the nodes in the network. And the closeness centrality tells you the average distance from a given starting node to all the other nodes in the network. Whereas eccentricity is the distance from a given starting node to the farthest node from it in the network. So these are the different values which can be analyzed, and depending on this, some inferences can be made when you're talking about analyzing a network. So here if I select OK, here is the betweenness centrality which I get, and there are different graphs which are generated related to this. So the betweenness centrality average path length is 2.6 for this, and the graph is shown over here. Here you can see some pink dots. So that is the value of the centrality, betweenness centrality. Closeness centrality, it is observed that the values is between 0 to 1, and the nodes which are at different range. So there are few nodes which is having value as 1 and so on. So this gives you the count of number of nodes you are having. Then, so these different values you can just, these are the graphs which are produced, which can be used directly if they are required as per your work that you are doing. Now, once I apply this network diameter in the partition part, when I select, there are different options or attributes which I can select. So if I select betweenness centrality and then I say apply, I will be able to find out nodes over here. And here you will see that the node which is shown by color 0 or purple color is 55.84 percentage. The percentage of nodes of that type is here. Then there are different nodes. So here if you observe, this node is connected to more number of clusters, if you say, in this part. Okay. So here you will see that one of the node is having centrality as 504 when it is being calculated. So this nodes, all the values of centralities can be seen. So if you want to find out the centrality of each of the node and find out which node is more important when you're talking about between the centrality, what you can do is you can go to data laboratory. Okay, it's not allowing. So here I can go to data laboratory and here you will see all the values. So here you will see the closeness centrality for each of the node has been calculated, harmonic closeness centrality, betweenness centrality. So this is calculated for all the nodes which are there existing in the system. So if I want to sort it, I can sort it using just clicking on that. I will be able to find out which is having the highest betweenness centrality. So here if you observe, the last node, which is wall chain, is having highest betweenness centrality. Then there is Merrill, which is having the next highest betweenness centrality. So these are some of the nodes which are going to be important when you are going to study this network. So if I go back to the overview part and if I try to display the text over here, you will see that this is the node which is having the highest centrality, and you can see that it is connected to more number of networks. So as the betweenness centrality says, it says that if I want to move from one community to another community or one node to another node, I have to maximum number of times pass through this node. So therefore this node becomes very important when you talk about the social network or influence of the node in this network. Okay, so that is how betweenness centrality helps. Then there is another node, this one, which is also connected to more number of other networks, smaller communities in the entire network. Okay, so this is about betweenness centrality. Then I can also find out the closeness centrality. So if I select this option and I say apply, I will be able to find the closeness centrality. So here you will see that different nodes are having different values and which node is closer to the other nodes as compared to the other nodes, which one is the closest to all the network. So here you can see that also. So these are the different measures which you can use when you are working on the Gephi platform. Along with this, there's an option of graph density also. If I want to identify the graph density, I just click on it and that will give me the graph density. So for this, the network the graph density is 0.08. Okay, so on an average, the network has this many number of edges for every node. That is what it means. Okay, so these are some of the important parameters which you need to know when you are working on the graph. Now there is another option over here which allows you to select the layout with which you want to see the graph. So there are different options available. You can select the one which suits your application. So if I select contraction and I say run, this is how it can be viewed. Or if I say, let's say expansion, so there are not much changes in this option, but let's say if I see this one. So here you are able to see the graph in this fashion, and then if you make changes into the parameters, you will be able to change it. So if I say prevent overlap, I do not want any overlap into the graph. So I say prevent overlap, it will start showing me the graph in this fashion. Then there is a gravity factor also. So if I say stronger gravity, it will show me something like this. So let it be as it is. So this way I can view the graph, and once I find that it is as per the requirement you are looking for, you can stop. You will be able to view the graph in the manner which you want. So there are different algorithms which are specified over here, which you can use and when run. Now the area over here is 10,000. I can change this area to 1,000, and then I run again. So here I am able to view this graph. So here this can give you a better picture. You can see that Valgen is more connected to the other nodes. When I just scroll over the mouse over that node, I'm able to see to which nodes that node is connected to, or who are the neighbors of that node. So here if I move to Jolly, I am able to see the different nodes that it is connected to. When I move to Valgen, I am able to see the different nodes that it is connected to. And similarly, you can do it for all the nodes, whichever node you want to analyze. So this is another algorithm or layout which allows you to give a better view. You can select the values and you can execute it. So here is another algorithm. This gives you a different perspective of the graph. So depending on what perspective you are looking for, you can try different options, but there are two which are generally used. One is random layout, which gives you this one. If you give the space properly, okay. So I'm not able to get, yeah. So if I give the space size properly, I'm able to see the graph appropriately. So random layout is one of the common options. Then Ifan, who is another proportional, is another commonly used layout, because this gives you a better view to understand the graph. Also force at last. So these are some of the commonly used layouts which can be used to analyze or view the graph in a better fashion. Okay. Now, along with this, the other options which can be used is the size of the nodes. The size of the nodes also help you to understand the importance of that node. So here, if you observe, this node is having a bigger size because it is more central to the network. Then another node, Gavroche, is having a lesser size than Valgen, but then this is the second highest node which is central to the network. And so the size also plays an important role when you're talking about the network which is being displayed in this window. Now let's say when you are working on this, and if you want to capture a particular image or a screenshot or the snapshot of this, so there is an option provided over here at the bottom, which is to the left hand side with a camera icon. So you can just click on it. When you click on it, it allows you to take a screenshot, and it will ask you where to store it. So once I give the folder in which it wants to store, it will keep on storing it in that folder every time you click on it. So if I get some another view of the graph and I want to change and I want to capture that, I can just again click on the picture icon of camera, and then I will be able to save that also. So this way you can also capture the different visualizations of the graph that you are getting as and when you are working on the graph. Okay. There is, now talking about the data laboratory part, here you can select the database at the time when you're opening it, or you can add it afterwards also. There are different possibilities which are given over here. You can add a node if you want in the data set. So you have to give the label and that node will be added into the graph. You can also add an edge associated with that node. When you're adding a node, obviously there has to be an edge associated with it. So when you are adding an edge, you have to give the source node, you have to give the target node, and the kind of edge that it is, whether it is undirected, directed. So all that information has to be given if you have to add any node manually. Then it also allows you to import spreadsheets. So if I want to import these entire spreadsheet, it will ask for a file name. Let's say I say try one, and then it will give me open. So it will open that spreadsheet also. Export is, it will export this entire table into the location which I specify. So if I specify some location like this, it will export the entire CSV file into that location, and I can go and check for the values anytime afterwards. Import allows you to import any file with the specifications whichever you are looking for. So these are the different options which are also available over here. You can filter them on the basis of ID, labels, so any value you want to filter, you can also apply the filter on that basis, and the graph will be seen over here. So if you want to manually do it and then see a overview, that can also be done. Okay. So this is allowed. There are different plugins also available along with this, which you can explore sometime. So this is about the Gephi tool, which can be used for visualization and also to a certain extent for analyzing the graphs. Now there are different data sets which can be used. So if you observe, I just opened one window. Yeah. So if you just search for Gephi data bases, there is one GitHub site wherein you will be able to get different data sets. You can just download these files. Okay, and when you download, they are in Gephi format also. Gephi allows three kinds of formats. One is a CSV file. It allows a CSV file. It allows a GMP file, and it allows a GEXF file. So these different formats which are available are in Gephi format. You can just download them, and you can directly open them by opening the project. You will be able to see the visualization of the graph. So that is also possible. You can explore some of these data sets. You can download them. You can just try to open and go through it. Okay. Let's try to open one. So this is another graph which is undirected graph. There are 1589 nodes and 2742 edges over here. And then I open the graph. Now here I'm not able to see what the graph is, how it is. So first I can choose a layout. So let's say I choose this layout. Now when I apply the layout, you'll see there are some nodes which are just moving away from the center of the graph. So here you will see a graph which is connected, whereas some of the nodes, if you observe, which are black spots over here, they are not connected to the network at all. So these nodes which are not connected to the network are not going to be of any help to analyze. And therefore, what you need to do is you need to work on this part of the graph so that you can analyze something or uh, derive something from the data that you are having. Okay. So let's say if I apply again modularity onto this. Now here you'll observe since the data size is very huge, I have got 403 communities. Okay. Before applying the, I would like before applying this, I would like to filter out the nodes which are of no use. So first I will apply degree, and then I will remove nodes, and then I apply filter. Let's see how this works. I'm applying some filters over here. Okay, so there are nodes which are not connected to this are just moving out if you observe, because those were nodes which were having degree 4 and they are not connected to this major giant component. So I can keep on changing and then let's see how it changes. Okay, so this gives me a graph which is connected, which is having minimum 5 degree of the nodes is having, each node is having minimum 5 degree and maximum 31 degree. So if I have to analyze this graph, then I can go and apply some of the statistics onto this. If I run modularity again, I will see that the communities are 404. So if I want lesser communities, I will change the resolution to 5, and I will see that the communities have decreased to 398. Though the communities are very high, but then it has decreased to a greater extent. And then I can go to the partition part, go to the modularity class, and then apply the filter. So when I apply the filter, I'll be able to see the maximum part of the nodes. If you observe in this window, gray shades are nodes which are either single or they are only 2 nodes connected or 3 nodes connected, and therefore those are also as a part of communities if you observe over here. So the major classes which we observe or communities which we observe over here are the communities which are shown in different colors. Purple, you have blue, you have green. Okay, so these are 3 main communities which you can see over here, and then you can start analyzing on this. So if I want to view the text onto this, I can just click on the T option and then I will reduce the size so that I am able to see something, and I can zoom in. Okay, so this is a database of co-authorship. I had just downloaded it from the same GitHub site. So this is the co-authorship data, and here you will be able to derive some references from it. So here you will observe that Roger is co-author to Turner and so on. Okay, so these are some of the people who have been working in the network domain. So here I am able to see the authors and the co-authors which are related to them. So Stanley and so on. Okay, so this helps you to give you a better perspective onto the graph that you are working. Also, I can apply network diameter. When I apply network diameter and I say OK, I got a betweenness of 5. So I will check for the betweenness and nicely apply. When I observe this, so here you are able to view the nodes. Okay. So here in between you are able to see some different colors. There is a green color over here. So here. Then over here you are able to see a red color. So those are different nodes which are important for that community from betweenness point of view. Okay. So yeah. So this brings to the end to the part which I was supposed to take for telling you about the